My death pile, like at this point, is getting kind of obnoxious, but I cannot stop going to the thrift stores and sourcing. And if I'm going to the thrift stores, you are coming to the thrift stores with me. So let's go and shop until we drop. You will not believe a sweater that I found in this thrift store. I'm gonna take you to a couple of other ones that I don't normally go to just to freshen things up a little bit. And as always, I'm gonna add item number 3 to the giveaway box for subscribers. You're not gonna wanna miss any of it. Stay tuned. All right, we're gonna head into some off the beaten path thrift stores, some Goodwills that I don't normally go into. And you know this, I wouldn't say these are smaller town, although they are smaller town feel thrift stores. The thing I like about it is it's like walking into that family friendly diner, right? Everybody knows everybody. It's all smiles. You always feel warm and welcomed when you come in. That's kind of what this store felt like when I walked in. So it's not as big as some of the normal Goodwills that I frequent, but I did grab a couple of things and I'm excited to feature them for you here. So I'm just gonna walk slowly, glaze over the toy section here. When you're in a new store and everything is like brand new for the first time, it's easy to miss things here. And of course, by the family in tow, I have to move quick. So I am gonna pick this Barbie. It's like a Barbie pop-up playset of some sort from 1994. I see enough of them selling in like the $15 to $30 range, but the reason I like this one is because it's really vibrant. The color is still basically intact. It's missing one of the lamps, unfortunately, but for $4, the fact that it hasn't been like sun warped or sometimes they turn a little bit orange when you see them, I still think I can get $25 to $30 for that. So I am gonna pick that up, and that was about it for what I could find in the toy section. I thought about picking up these Nike Air Max 97 tie-dyes. I don't remember what size they were. One of the things you have to check when you've got a shoe that has an air pocket like this is make sure that it hasn't been punctured. So when you see me sticking my thumb in it that way, I'm checking for a hole, and I'm glad I did because it looks like there's some separation going on here. And while I could probably glue that, that's usually an indication that there is a hole in there and it's porous, so I'm gonna leave those behind. Now you see me pick up these Tom's Audi collaboration flats. They were $4.50. This was a bolo years ago, so I threw it in my cart, but once I did the research, I came to realize that I don't think I was gonna get more than $15 for that pair of shoes. So they were 32 years ago pre-owned at $15. It is no longer a bolo in my eyes for that price. If they were a buck or so at a yard sale or something like that, I think it might be worth it. So I'm gonna move on, look at some men's shirts. This is a Polo Ralph Lauren Denim and Supply. I saw a couple of $15 comps again at $4, $5. I'm gonna completely pass it up. And I do that with the majority of the shirts. We are about to see lots of very basic brands, nothing that really has any value. Lots of those Arrow shirts right there. I think this was Old Navy that I just passed up here. There was one plaid, I think it was Old Mill, you'll see here come up in a little bit. This plaid blue flannel that looked nice, but again, even that $19, $20 at $5, I'm just not into it. That's the one right there. So I'm gonna leave that behind along with the rest of them. But even in a small town Goodwill, you can still find deals. Amazingly enough, this is the rack that I was out when I got there, but it looks like it was the newer rack. And look what turns up. Of all things, Burberry Brit. Beautiful quarter zip, mock neck, has the Nova check around the neck, and then I went right back to the rack just to make sure that there weren't any like items there that I might want to look at. But this thing was in excellent condition. It is a men's small dark gray color. I have this listed right now for $70. It's probably going to sell between $50 and $70, 100% authentic, but just right there, small town Ohio thrift store without much else to go on. I land a big money bolo. That is amazing. What a fantastic find. And I want to remind you, any one or more of the items that I source in this video could end up in the subscriber only giveaway box. So You're going to want to stay tuned for that. Let me check the rest of the rack here. Is Ophelia Row a bolo? These are some nice cardigans here. I don't remember if I looked them up. I think I did, and I think the number said pass them up, but maybe I'm wrong here. That was a cool Nike sweatshirt. I didn't think it was worth more than $25 to $30. Again, I could be wrong. And so I'm looking for a few more big hitters than I am some of the small stuff. So I'm going to move on. I love Wachterbach mugs. They usually always sell for me. These have damage. Yes, we're out of season because it's Christmas, but they're mug styles. You can get them. They do Halloween. They do some other holidays as well. If you can get them cheap enough, they always sell. I have a 100% success rate selling Wachtersbach mugs. So keep that in mind. Some will say made in Germany. I think some say made in Spain. I don't think either makes much of a difference. Some of them are a little bit thinner or lighter than the others, but passed on that. And you can tell, like, this is just one of those stores where the shelves, they're kind of bare and you just have to take what you can get. So, you know, I may only find just a couple of items in this store, but I have to be happy with what I did find in that Burberry. And we'll move on to another one here as the skies open up a little bit and we get a little bit of sun. We'll move into the next one. Now this Goodwill was a little bit larger than the one that I stopped at before here. But again, you know, when I have a little one in tow, I really don't have a whole lot of time to sit and kind of learn on the fly. I've got to skim over the items that I do see and just hope that I can get lucky. And I actually do right here. You take a look at these Converse that I am about to pick up. So these are Converse Chuck 70 archives. They look, if you look at the stamp on the back, like they are the stamp from the 1970s. You'll see them here in just a second. So that black stamp right there is what they looked like in the 70s, but these are not. These are much, much newer. Stars and Stripes version, and an excellent find. And I think they are $5 a pair, so $4.50 to $5 a pair, size 13s, which you cannot find anywhere. So the red, white, and blue color combo pair I have listed for $80, and then the Stars and Stripes with the black version, the black variant, I have those listed for $100. Those were amazing finds, just sitting there right on the rack. And it's funny too, because they had a bunch of shoes like locked up in their shelf that weren't anywhere near as nice as that. So went over and looked at the wall here, saw a poster that I liked. I actually saw 3 of them here, but I do only end up taking this one here. Lucasfilm Star Wars from 1991. It's got the Death Star and the Millennium Falcon on the front here. I grabbed that. I did grab the special edition Return of the Jedi poster from 97, but like I said, once I ran the comps on that, I mean $10 to $15, put that one back. And then the Star Trek one behind it right here, this is also maybe $10. But that first Star Wars poster, there was a recent sale on that for $50. There are some listed, prices are vary. Some are in the high end, some are on the lower end. If one sold for $50, I gotta believe that mine can also sell for $50. I did pay up for it. I didn't realize it at the time, but I was charged $15 for it. So that's fine. I'll list that at $50 and we'll see if we can get any bites on it. So still a decent find, much better than the other 2. I did leave this Denver ceramic tumbler behind from Starbucks. It's in excellent condition, but I didn't think I could get more than $20 for it. And I see a good number of them listed. Could I push mine to 25, potentially 30? I think I could, but at $4 with a bunch of the rest of the store to kind of look at and sift through, if you will, I left that behind and I did end up passing on it altogether. So we're going to just move on here. What I'm looking for when I look at like a section like this with a bunch of knickknacks, salt and pepper shakers and all that, trends that I see going strong right now are mushrooms, frogs, fairies. So I'm looking for combinations or things that are themed in that manner. And I didn't really see any in this area here. But it's also like kind of big and wide and open to me because all of this is brand new. It's not a store that I frequent that much. So it's very easy for me to maybe miss something. So if you end up seeing something, call me out on it as always, because I had to move relatively quickly here while I was getting this footage. There's like a milk glass mug right there that might have had some value, but passed on that. I actually sold a Lily Pulitzer cappuccino mug stack like Not like the one you saw right there, but just stacked mugs in general. I sold that set for 25. It was really pretty, but it had like a pastel Eastery kind of color scheme to it. But didn't end up picking those up and went over to the toy section right here. Now, generally, I think this would be much more fun if this was a garage sale. I don't typically enjoy going through the mixed bags in stores like this when they do this, and gems will turn up all the time. So I'm really just kind of doing it for the sake of giving you something new to see, and then maybe there is something that I did miss, but I don't generally enjoy going through these. I mean, I would recognize old G.I. Joe, old Transformer, like old He-Man stuff if they had that in here, but a lot of this stuff is really just, it either has no value or it's like the Happy Meal toy type of stuff. I also feel like some of this stuff turns up at the bins maybe more frequently, but there's so much to look at here. Super Mario toys, like Bowser play sets. I think that thing right up there was a Bowser boat. I looked that up. It didn't have any value. Little Octonauts figure in there. He was broken. See, you never know. Keep digging in here to see if there are any non-Happy Meal toys, but I don't really recognize anything here. Sometimes these horses have value, but that one was kind of beat up, so I had to naturally pass on that. Nothing really in that one. I see some Baby Shark toys. A lot of this stuff is like things that would turn up at the bins for sure. A doll here that I didn't recognize. I don't think she was one of the ones that was super desirable. We'll take a look at the plush here really quickly. There's one towards the end here that I feel like maybe I should have looked up, but I didn't. It's not this pretty owl. Let's take a look at him. It's this one holding a taco. It was kind of cool looking, but I didn't bother looking it up. So move over to some of the home goods. Some of this stuff looks pretty unique and ornate. Porcelain dolls, I don't think that one had any value. Those pink Himalayan lamps, are those still worth picking up? I'm not really sure. Haven't looked them up in a while. And then some plateware here, none of which I really recognize has any value, but it's so nice and sort of refreshing to look at a new store and see how it operates. And again, just talk to some of the employees who were very welcoming and sweet and sincere. But I don't see anything here in the glasswares, homewares that I recognize. So we're going to move over to our final store. And this is such an unbelievable find. Off of the rack, MSK, that's definitely not it. I didn't look this up, but I didn't think it had any value here. But I got a Loro Piana baby cashmere women's cable knit sweater. Now it's interesting because these are all regularly marked except for this one. They had this one marked up. You can see the tag, made in Italy, baby cashmere, for $20. So somebody in the back was like, hey, we should probably charge maybe a little bit more for this. But it's a women's size 44, mock neck, cable knit, cream color, ivory color. Amazing find. Brand new. These are ridiculous. So I did the math. Pre-owned last 2 years. These cable knit sweaters, this brand, women's, average sale price is around $315. I think I'm going to list that one for $400 and hope that it sells between $300 and $400. But I could not believe that find when I saw it. That was amazing. And I don't think the rest of the rack had anything even remotely close, but it's interesting because this is a fresh rack. This had just come out. That piece was marked up and then everything else was regular price. So I'm wondering how that kind of slipped in there. At any rate, I'm happy because it's in my cart and I took that thing home. I'm going to grab this off of the carts here. 20-minute managers. It's like the middle management's, dream come true here. Sealed case of 10 books, I think. They're only asking $3 for it. I think I can sell this for $30, the fact that it's brand new. So that's a good pickup here. I think this is a vintage Chrissy doll. It's like from the late 60s, early 70s. The prices were really like kind of all over the place for those. Some really low, some really high. I left it behind because I didn't know any better. Like maybe the condition of the hair has something to do with the value, but that was definitely an old doll. It was probably like $3 or $4. But I left it. I did pick up the Anne of Green Gables box set right here. Amazing sell-through rate for this. They want $4 for that, and I think I can sell that for $30 actually very, very quickly. So I passed up on the Polo Ralph Lauren underwear, but here's another amazing find that I pulled off the rack. Newport News Genealogy 100% leather pants. These are a women's size 12 T, and they're brand new with tags. Unbelievable, right? And this is one of the ones where they marked this up with the rest of the marked up items. So $15 on this, but even pre-owned, these are going for $60. I think you could push it to $80 if you were getting, if you were listing them yourself brand new. So if you total everything up from those 3 trips, turned out to be a pretty good haul. I absolutely love those last few pieces, especially the sweater, which should go without saying. But let's take a look at the giveaway box. Okay, the giveaway box. We've got the Victoria's Secret bra, brand new. All 3 of these items are actually brand new. Like I said, they aren't all going to be brand new items. There will be some pre-owned. It's just how it's worked out so far. But the women's Nike pants are in there, and then I am going to put the Genealogy leather pants size 12T in here for you kind folks. And I'll have to fold these up a little bit. It looks a little sloppy, me just dropping it in here, but there is still plenty of room for items for my wonderful subscribers. So we've got 3 items in there so far from the last 3 videos. And once this thing is full, I would imagine it's going to have some great value. I spent $74.50 for all the items you saw me source in today's video, and my total listed value, including the sweater, comes to $850. Amazing haul. Appreciative of each and every one of you. 3 items in the giveaway box. You have to be a subscriber. Hit the subscribe button. You know what it is. Brendan here, Dad Planet, the One Man Show. I am out. We'll see you in the next one.